and Olivia Atwood-Dack.
Thank you very much. Hello and welcome to your Wednesday Loose Women Live. Coming up today...
Virgin, of course. I'm really sorry, Leah. I didn't mean it like... I just didn't want you.
As Emmerdale's Tom mocks Vinny over being a virgin in his 20s, we're asking if there is still a stigma for those with less sexual experience. Also, he's been making us laugh for over 30 years. Frank Skinner joins us live, revealing why his new tour is his rudest yet. And she shared her cancer journey with all of us. Strictly's Amy Dowden is here for a catch-up, and she'll also be telling us how she is teaming up with the King. Yes. First, though, in the papers this morning, a new picture of Prince Louis taken by his mum, Kate, to mark his 6th birthday. We all know him as a little bit of a cheeky chappy. He's very energetic and seemingly more naughty than George and Charlotte. And some say his personality may be down to being the youngest of 3. So do we treat the youngest child differently? You are 100% the best person to ask about this, Coleen. The youngest of a big family.
The youngest of 8. Wow. I don't know whether I was treated differently or just my mum and dad had given up by the 8th one. Like, I popped out and they thought, I can't be bothered. So just
and you've siblings, they can sort of help.
Siblings can sort her out, yeah. But I think for my siblings, because there's, between me and my eldest sister, there's like 15 years. Wow. So I know with the eldest 3 girls, my mum and dad were super, super strict. I mean, really strict.
They cared.
Yeah. and so, yeah, when I came along, I'd do things and they'd be like, how come she's allowed to do that? And yet when we were that age, we couldn't. So I think there was a bit of that going on. But I definitely think the youngest one gets treated differently. I think each child as it comes along, you parent a little bit differently. You know, the first one, you're super anxious and everything is like, oh, my God, what's happening? What's he doing? Need to go to the doctors. But the second one comes along, you go... he's teething, he's fine.
Yeah.
And then the third one comes along, you go, I don't know where I left it.
I'm the oldest, so I definitely see a difference with my brother, because there was obviously a period of time where he was living at home on his own, he was like an only child. Me and my sister would visit and we'd be like, what in the Beverly Hills Hotel is going on here? He'd just sit there and kind of order his dinner from the sofa, and it was just a very different experience to the ones me and my sister had. And I don't know if that's a little bit because it's the only boy and he's so much younger, there's like 8 years there. But yeah, definitely he got away with a lot more than we did.
Yeah, it's an interesting mix, particularly if there's a lot in the family. You can understand what's happening. What do you think, Fran?
Well, there's just me and my brother. He's my older brother by a couple of years, but we were both raised in a strict environment. But he did have more of the opportunity. There was once he was dating somebody and he snuck out because we weren't allowed out, so he was snuck out the window and I had to let him back in. So I was kind of like the wing woman, but I would never be able to get away with that. But my cousins, my younger cousins that are coming up now, you know, things like going to college in London, I wasn't allowed to leave the house and go to a different town. So, you know, I do look at them and think, when I was in my day, in my day that wasn't allowed, and I'm only about 10 years older than them. So, but yeah,
I think the older child always naturally paves the way for the younger ones, don't they? And it's all the trials, the tribulations. You learn a certain path, and then the younger one doesn't have to really necessarily do very much. They've learnt it already. They're looking. I can see it with my 2 little ones. You're quite right. My little girl, when she came along, I was panicked by absolutely everything. Then when my little boy came along, I had her and him. So suddenly you're like, I can't panic in the same way because I've 2 of you and I'm holding this one and do. So you just naturally change your parenting still. So it must have a bit of an effect.
Did it with you and your sister?
I think it probably did. I remember I would have definitely not been allowed to do things until a much older age. And then definitely I think Nicola would have been allowed to go to the disco or the nightclub thing maybe a bit earlier than I would have been, but I had proven that it was going to be okay. So it was, I think you just had...
I think it's different natural. As well, boys and girls, because it is different parenting, isn't it, between a girl and a boy, I think.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. I think that's it, and I think definitely with my little girl, we were very sort of protective, whereas my little boy doesn't want you to be protective with him, and that's a really natural, inherent thing within him. But you look at Louis, I guess, and there's George, you know, it's going to be king. It's a very different position within the sibling roles there, isn't it? Charlotte in the middle, of course, Louis then. Maybe there is naturally that less pressure on him. Do you think that might be the case?
I think that, because you kind of see, they kind of had that same story with Harry and William, didn't they? William was the one that was very together, and Harry was the one that was off having fun. And I think it's probably similar like that, but he has got a responsibility to the country, I suppose. So, yeah.
You wouldn't really want it at that age, feeling it. You'd want to try and protect them as much as you could,
Yeah,
wouldn't
no,
you?
definitely.
Can you imagine that,
Yeah,
thinking, this is what your job is?
Yeah.
Don't care what you say.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a big thing. But happy birthday, Princess. There we go. Sending you all of our love.
Happy birthday, Louise.
Now, still on royals, and good news for the Princess of Wales today, whose father-in-law, the King, has appointed her the Royal Companion of the Order of the Companions of Honour. I know, it's catchy. It is an acknowledgement of her public service and support of the arts. They obviously get along very, very well, don't we? We saw that in the past sort of couple of months, certainly, and there's an incredible closeness there. How important is that relationship with the in-laws? And I'll come to you, Olivia, purely because your mother-in-law's in the front row of the audience.
It is indeed. So I'm in quite a unique position today to answer this question.
Are you behaving yourself?
I am. I'm trying to be really good. I'm thinking of the topics coming up and how I can navigate them without saying anything weird.
No.
But I'm very lucky that I have a great relationship with my mother-in-law, I hope. That's why she's here. And I think it's important. I think every family's different. It's important as you make it. And I think for some people, it'll be less important. For me, it's something that would have been a big shame if we hadn't got on, or my mum hadn't liked Brad. It would have, it would have upset me. And I think when you're getting older and you're looking towards the next stage of your life and you're in marriage and thinking about having kids, I mean, the family you choose are very important. You don't know what's going to happen in life and who you're going to need to lean on. And it's nice to know that you have people that you would trust with your children and that would support you through, hard times. So, yeah.
Yes, very true. More importantly, Olivia, Debbie, what do you think? Is it a very important relationship for you that you have this very beautiful, smart, glamorous daughter-in-law?
Yeah, but I think you look beyond that. It's not just about that, isn't it? It's about the personality. It's about the relationship we have. And I think when I first met Olivia and she was on the telly, I never watched anything she was on because I didn't want to take that judgment of the television.
Yes, really good choice.
I wanted to get to know her for her and who she was, not who she was on the TV. So I think that was important. So that's our relationship. That's what it is.
That makes you a very, very lovely mother-in-law, if that's the case. You see, that's what a wonderful thing. You're very lucky if you have that within the family, and it's being the mother-in-law, children getting married and moving on. How are you as a mother-in-law?
I'm very well, thanks, Christine. How are you? No, I think, I'm really, really lucky. I've always got on with, my kids' partners who they've chosen to be with. Too well, really, sometimes. Like with Kira and Max, I love Kira, but I love Max as well. And sometimes I always go, I'd be devastated if you and Max... Because they both live with me as well, and I'd be devastated if you and Max split up because I don't know where you're going to live, Kira.
Max is staying.
Okay, because Max is staying. But it can be tricky, when I first met my first mother-in-law, because I've had two, and I would say the first 6 months to a year were tricky because I had to just let her get used to the fact that another woman had come in and was now living with her absolute idol type of son. And she'd do things like she'd come round on a Sunday with one Sunday dinner for him.
And nothing for you at all?
It was either to say, I love my son and I cook better than you, or you really don't need a Sunday dinner with that. I wasn't quite sure. But I let it go. But do you know what? To this day, even though it's years and years and years ago, I'm still best friends with her. I absolutely adore her.
Yeah.
But it took us both...
You had to get through that period.
You had to get through it. And I think
yourself.
as the daughter-in-law, when you come in especially, I think you have to be aware that it changes the whole dynamic, doesn't it?
Of course it does. I mean, I can imagine you, Brenda, you'd be a lovely mother-in-law.
I like to think I would be. You hear so many horror stories about controlling mother-in-laws and everything else. And my daughter's partner, he's absolutely lovely. I love him. And he's just so meek and mild and just, you know, he's always laughing. And I'm like, you know, you can stay as long as you want, as long as you make my daughter happy, I'm happy. If I hear her laughing, I'm very happy. So, yeah, it's more important for me not to say the wrong thing and just, you know, welcome him in as much as possible.
But you probably would if you thought he was the wrong guy.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. Then we see a different Brenda.
Don't mess with Brenda.
Yeah, not so good. But yeah, on a good day, you're brilliant. I can
yeah.
imagine that, Brenda. Well, there you go. Thank you, Debbie, very much for being part of that chat. She's on her best behaviour today, Debbie.
Yeah, you actually really are. I am trying.
Still to come by royal appointment. Frank Skinner is here revealing why he broke protocol when he picked up his MBE. The full shocking story coming up after this. See you in a sec. To come, Amy Dowden is here very soon, and don't tell her, but we have a very special Strictly surprise for her. First, competition time, and it's your chance to win the ultimate summer bonus. Jeff Brazier is live for us today. Hello. Oh, you are very high up. You're not going to do it, are you?
Christine, I don't know where your football allegiances lie. I'm pretty sure I might know, actually, but mine lie here. It's actually the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and this is the Dare Skywalk. I've always looked up at the Golden Cockerel on top of the stadium and wondered what's it like to be up there, and I can now really find out firsthand. So I'm telling you all about a unique ultimate summer bonus. Let's just walk along, guys. We're going to do the walk. You're going to come with us as well. You can win £10,000 every month for 6 whole months and have an incredible summer of fun. I brought my family, my best friend here. We're going to do the walk together and just show you. Look at that view. Absolutely incredible. So if you're a thrill seeker, if you like to push the envelope a little bit, then you can come and do things like this here at the Tottenham Stadium. It's up to you. You'd have £60,000 that you didn't already have. So if you would like to get your hands on 10k a month for 6 months, here are the details. Get yourself entering, guys, and good luck. OK, let's go, Fred.
For your chance to win, text WIN to 86060. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 786060. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY17 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday 17th of May at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Very brave, Jeff. Thank you very much. Now we're joined by one of the nation's most popular comedians. He's been making us laugh since the 80s, hosting his own legendary chat show and presenting Room 101, and even gaining a #1 hit in the charts on 4 separate occasions with 3 Lions. He's now returning to the stage and here to tell us all about it. It's Frank Skinner. So good to see you.
No, it's lovely to be here, I must say. I love a swivel chair.
It makes you feel powerful instantly,
it
doesn't
does,
it?
yeah. I might do a 360, but we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes, yeah. If you're really enjoying yourself, we'll know with the 360.
I was just in Copenhagen doing a gig, and if you sit right at the front of the tube, the underground on there's no driver, and they've got all these stickers on so the kids can pretend that they're driving. And I must admit, with no one on there, I thought, I'm just going to slow up. It's irresistible. When I was a kid, I used to have a sticky steering wheel on the bus, and I used to pull over to stops and stuff.
I didn't know there was such a fascination with seats and buttons and
Well, I realise
vehicles.
it's a bit like life. You think you're steering it, but you are
not
really.
There's always someone else, the puppet master, isn't it? We kind of briefly surmised your career there, Frank, in the intro, but we're talking about nearly 40 years of a career now, which, does it feel like that? Does it?
No,
it?
I've been a professional comedian for more than half my life, and I like that as an idea. Because I used to have a proper job. I don't know if you've ever tried a proper job.
Nah.
It's not nice. And I just don't think I had the hands for it. So, yeah, I love it.
What was your proper job?
I worked in factories and stuff like that. I worked in a glass factory where I had to carry this glass and tip it down a hole, and it landed, and a big cloud of glass dust came up. So I had to tip it and then run as fast as I... This was pre-health and safety. Yeah.
Frank, can you tell us about your new tour, please?
Yes. I'm on tour at the moment, going all over the place, and then I'm in the West End in August, from the 5th to the 24th, at the Gielgud Theatre in Shaftesbury Avenue. It is lovely. But yes, but I'm playing everywhere, really. It's great. I love it. I love being on tour.
You say you've been doing it now for 40 years. So you must have really noticed the change as the years have gone on, especially in this era that we're in now. Do you find it more difficult doing the stand-up?
I don't really, because I think the things that we're supposedly not allowed to say, I don't want to say anyway. It's not like I'm sitting and thinking, oh, well, God, I can't use my 40 minutes of racist material. Do you know what I mean? I just want to go out and people have a good time. So I don't really want to hurt anyone's feelings in the audience, or I don't want to shock anybody, except the fact...
That's really refreshing, actually. But you get a lot of the comics from back in the day saying, no, it's not the same and you can't be you anymore. But it's refreshing to hear that, actually.
People, if I'm going to shock them, it'll just be the fact that I'm still alive.
But Frank, was it a shock for you when your son Buzz said you weren't as funny as Alan Carr?
That was really... that hurt. It was the way he said it. Alan Carr came on the telly and he said, oh, I love Alan Carr. I said, yeah, he's great. He said, I think he's funnier than you. And I just... Yeah.
It was a moment.
Yeah, I was staying at a hotel and the woman on the reception said, oh, it's great to meet you. I'm a big fan of yours. You're one of the funniest people on television. I was lapping it up. And she said to her friend, look, it's Alan Carr. Oh! So it's him that she loves. And then, I'll just tell you this quickly, a man said to me, your dog has pooed in the corridor at the hotel. Not true at all. And I went to the desk to complain and... this guy said to me, oh, yeah, your dog's poo. I said, it wasn't my dog. He said, I've got a photo. I took a photo with the poo, sent it to my girlfriend and said, this is me with Frank Skinner's dog's poo. A sort of selfie. That's celebrity for you.
But it wasn't your dog? Wow. Do you even have a dog?
Well, in the end, I thought it was my dog, so I said, actually, it's not Frank Skinner, it's Alan Carr. I do have a dog, yeah.
I remember I've seen you do stand-up quite a few times now, Frank, but this was quite a few years ago at Hammersmith Apollo, and honestly, and I love my stand-up and I love my comedy, I think for me it was one of the best stand-ups I've ever seen, and I really genuinely... And I was trying to remember, you know, I love going to stand-up. You know when you take away things from what you've talked about, things that you hadn't thought of yourself and go, yeah, that's such a good point, and they made it really funny. And I remember you talking about, I think it was at this gig, about how you fall when you're younger. We all fall. And then as you get older, you have a fall. Yeah. And you did a whole piece about this, and I remember just tears coming down my face about it because I'd never thought of it, and it's so true.
Yeah, I fell over.
You do that so well.
And in the end, someone called me up and said, I heard you had a fall. And then before I knew it, people were saying, oh, you've had one of your falls. I thought, where's this list of falls? Yeah, there's some strange things you notice about getting older. I was in a bubble tea shop with my son the other day. He's nearly 12. And I thought, when do they stop giving you a straw because you're too old? I really wanted a straw.
They're not giving you a straw?
There's an idea just the kids get straws. Oh. What's the cut-off age?
Yeah,
anyone here in catering? When is it where you think, no, he's 15, he doesn't get a straw anymore?
Did you get a straw at Buckingham Palace when you picked up your MBE? Are they allowed there?
When I went to Buckingham Palace, we didn't even get a drink of water. You stand in Buckingham Palace amidst all this golden grandeur. We were there, not just me, loads of people getting medals. And we were there about 2.5 hours. And it was like we had a delayed flight. We were just all sitting like this. You're left. By the time you're in there, maybe it's a security measure because you couldn't stage anything dangerous. You're half asleep.
But it was Princess Anne awarded you with your MBE, wasn't it? And there was a little bit of a conversation, wasn't there?
Well, I don't meet members of the royal family every day. I've met a few in my time, but when you meet Princess Anne, I'm thinking, wow, it's Princess Anne. I wonder if I could get my hair that high. And so I'm looking at her, And I'm getting my MBE, and so she says, anyway, you know, thank you very much. And I said, do I not get my MBE? And she said, well, you're already wearing it. She said, do you want another one? And I thought, could you get another one? But she was joking. So I'd been so distracted. I hadn't seen her pin it on.
You were dehydrated.
Yeah, she could have put anything on me. I could have walked out of there with a pair of antlers on and I wouldn't have noticed.
She probably thought you were Alan Carr.
No. I don't think he's got one.
Frank, you're brilliant. 30 Years of Dirt is the name of the tour. And like we say, you're all over and then you're headed back to the West End later on in the year as well. But yes, you will be in a town somewhere near everybody, won't you?
Yeah, West End in August. Do come. There are still tickets.
Brilliant. No problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry,
Frank, can I just ask you quickly, what do you think of the so-called granny shopper? Do you know what a granny shopper is? You know the little,
I haven't bought a granny for years.
No, the trolleys. You know, back in the day, you used to see people pulling a little trolley. There we go.
Well, I'm very anti any kind of luggage on wheels. I still carry a big case.
You carry...
I think it's wrong luggage on wheels.
Well, that is very interesting because the sales on these things, they've increased dramatically and we're asking if they're stylish or sloppy or unnecessary, according to Frank. You just don't do them at all. Anyway, talking about that in a sec. Also, Amy Dowden is here for a catch-up telling us all about her Strictly return. Lots to come. We'll see you after this.
Actress and presenter, the ever-glamorous Ida Field-Williams returns to our studio after 5 years. She'll be talking family life with 4 children and the secret to being happily married to Robbie after 14 years. Ida Field-Williams catching up with some old friends tomorrow, 12:30 on Loose Women.
To your Wednesday Loose Women Live with me, Christine Lampard, for the next half hour. It's Coleen Nolan, Olivia Atwood-Dack and Brenda Edwards. Now, the ultimate high street accessory or time to call the fashion police. We're going to be debating the massive rise in granny shoppers. And... that's not what I was expecting.
I was trying to make it look sexy.
You definitely made it look something. Brenda will be sharing her unique shopping hack as well. In a less sexy sort of version,
not in that
isn't it?
Yeah, way. No, no
less provocative. Rebel Wilson revealed she lost her virginity at 35. We're asking if there's still a stigma around being sexually inexperienced. Now, Amy Dowden has been wowing us on Strictly since 2017, but last year had to take a break from the dance floor after revealing her breast cancer diagnosis. Since then, she's been sharing her story to help others, and she's now teaming up with royalty. And here to tell us more, it's Amy Dowden. Thank you so much. Hello, gorgeous.
So beautiful.
How are you doing? You were Blackpool at the championships the last time we were talking, with all the little ones dancing up there.
Yeah.
And it feels so good to be back in that big ballroom for you, doesn't it?
Oh, it really does. Actually, I was dancing last night with my husband, the cha-cha-cha, in the studio, and it just feels so good, after so much time away. Yeah.
Of course, I know. And how are you feeling? I know you got some wonderfully hopeful, positive news just a couple of months ago. Tell us about where you're at right now.
Yes, so I was told there was no evidence of disease, which was, the best news I could ever imagine. Obviously, I can't be told I'm cancer-free for 5 years, and I have an injection now once a month to keep, because I had a hormone-fed cancer, to keep my hormones shut down. But no, I'm doing really well and going for the week, get my body back, and thank you.
And still dancing?
Getting back into it gradually, and I'm just loving it. It's making my heart so happy. Yeah.
It's because it does make you... It's you, isn't it? It's what we knew you for as well. That is what you were before this past year. And you're just desperate to get back to it at this point.
I really
It's where you belong, Amy.
Yeah, I've missed performing live to an audience so much. And although Strictly was absolutely incredible, keeping me part of the family and part of the show last year, it was was kind of bittersweet going when I could between chemo treatments and watching, because I was there with my best friend supporting them, but I wanted to just be them. I didn't want to be living the nightmare I was. I wanted to be with my best friends, dancing, doing what I love most. So although I was there, which was great, it was also really hard. And I had many times where I cried backstage of production or some of the dancers afterwards because I just wanted to be there with them all.
But very excitingly, you're now going to be working with King Charles, is that right?
So, yeah, part of the big help out, which is between the 7th and 9th of June, and we're asking everybody who possibly can to volunteer, because charities such as Cancer Research UK, McMillan Cancer, Breast Cancer Now, Young Lives Free Cancer, these charities, organisations, wouldn't be possible without volunteers. They are the heartbeat to all charities. And, you know, having Crohn's disease and suffering with cancer myself, I only know too well how important these charities are. Well, we're alive because of them, aren't we, as a fellow Pink sister? Because if it wasn't for Cancer Research, we wouldn't be here. And, you know, if people could spare an hour or half a day or a day...
Doing what? Anything? Answering a phone?
Yes.
Chatting to someone?
Exactly. Go litter picking. You can download the app and it tells you what's going on in your local community. And, you know, you don't even need to leave the house, but it's proven as well, being a volunteer, what it does for you, your self-esteem, your mental health, meeting new friends, learning a new skill. And I think just leaving, because I try to do as much as I can now to give back. And I think, you know, it gives you a bit of pride, doesn't it?
It's a great idea.
Really brilliant. Amy, I just want to... Because you look beautiful. Your hair, I love that hairstyle on you. And, you know, your positivity always shines through whenever I see you talking about your experience and what you've been through. But you were a person, you felt it when you heard about the diagnosis of the King and Princess Kaye, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when Princess Kaye shared the news, only because I was lucky enough to meet her during my chemo treatment, and she gave me so much time. She was so kind. And actually her words was, let us know if there's anything we can do. And then just knowing what, you know, that she's... Finding out that she has to have chemo and knowing, you know, what you have to go through. You know, you only know too well. You know, emotionally, my family... you know, whilst I was going through treatment, I don't think my parents slept. I can remember getting the news and my sister saying, oh, Dad will sleep tonight now. And I could see in their eyes, the pain in their eyes. And I can't tell you how many times my parents would say they would do anything to take it away from me or them to have instead of me. And my mum's had, you know, cancer twice. And it's just the thought. And I also knowing that she had to go through it in the public eye. She's got 3 young children. And that's for anybody going through cancer. I sit on the oncology ward once a month, and I've made friends with this lovely lady in her late 30s. And, you know, and she's putting a coal cap on and she's talking through her symptoms. And my heart just goes out to her. I just don't want anybody to go through it, because it brings everything back, doesn't it? It's still quite raw for me. And it's just a really cruel, cruel, cruel illness to have. And I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. And that's why I want to do as much as I can. Let's get as much research out there so people don't have to go through this.
Absolutely. You definitely, and I know you're the first to say, you have dark moments. Of course, everyone does when you're going through any kind of a cancer diagnosis and treatment. Branda, you know, and you know, sadly, more of us know. But there's something very special about you. Anytime I've met you, there's an electricity about you, where I can see, when we talk about the big help out and the volunteering things that you're part of, Copperfield, I know you're very close with. You bring such a joy to everyone that you work with, and raising the awareness. And we know, talking about our screening, don't skip any kind of screening campaign, that we've been talking about it here in this show, and you feel so passionate about that. And you're such a person to kind of voice all of these campaigns, because firstly, we sit up and we listen to you. You've not only lived it, but you voice your feelings so incredibly well. I think you really reach out to everyone. And the campaign, that's a really important thing. We cannot skip any kind of screening. We just can't do it.
Absolutely. And if you notice any change, you know your body best. I'm looking at everyone. And if you notice any change, book an appointment with your GP. And, like, I never thought at 32 I was ever going to get diagnosed.
And you're 30, you're so young, you say, of course.
And if I wasn't checking, then I wouldn't probably be here right now. I had grade 3 out of grade 3. So if you're not checking, who is? Because you don't get mammograms through uni 50s. But also, if you do get the option to go and get checked and screened, please, please, please go, honestly, you know. because it can ultimately save your life.
Yeah. Absolutely. Do not skip it.
Strictly this year? Is that the goal?
Yeah, I'm working really hard on getting all my body back because obviously I've got a new upper body now and after breaking my foot and, doing all the physio as I possibly can. But that would be the dream, to be back with my best friends on the dance floor doing what I love.
Oh, Amy, we love you on the dance floor. You've a lot of Strictly friends, of course, as well. They wanted to have a little word as well today.
Hi, Amy, it's Gorka. And Grats. And we just want to send you a big message of love. We know you're going to be here very soon, and we just can't wait to be back with you. We love you. We miss you. Mwah!
Bring it on. It'll be Strictly season before you know it. You know, that's what happens, isn't it? It comes around so quickly. So good to see you, Amy. We love you, and so chuffed to hear your news as well. Amy Dowden, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you. So to come after this week's Emmerdale saw Vinny's virginity secret exposed. We're asking if there's still a stigma around being sexually inexperienced. And we finally put the trend to the test. Can we be converted to using the humble granny shopper? Brenda is revealing her ultimate shopping hack. And clearly Coleen is going to go wild in the aisles. All of that coming up after this. As Emmerdale's Vinny is teased by Tom for still being a virgin in his 20s, do we all secretly judge the sexually inexperienced? Now, we're talking about the rise of these, the so-called granny shoppers. That's what the papers are at least calling them, with retailers saying sales are up 80% year on year. Here is our very own supermodel Brenda to model our own loose version. Showing off practicality, portability, it's all there. Our next model is Olivia, looking super stylish. Rocking the orange version. We need to extend that for you, Olivia. Now, hang on a second. Where's Coleen? Where's Coleen? I can't look at you. Brenda, you're a fan of a bit of a granny shopper thing,
I
aren't
don't call it a granny shopper. I just call it help because it's really good. My grandmother, she did. You know, I would go shopping with her and she'd have her shopping trolley. We just call it a shopping trolley, and it was really good because you don't have to extend your arms by carrying all those shopping bags. I love it. I'm actually trying to get this one home with me.
Are you?
I love it that much.
Because no one else wants it.
Well,
so it's definitely a miss with you, isn't it, Olivia?
I just feel like it just screams I've given up.
OK. Well, I didn't give up at the weekend. I take my suitcase out.
That's different.
What?
In a whole nother way.
So hang on, you take a suitcase?
Well, I don't have an actual shopping trolley like this, but I know the benefits of it. So when I go out shopping, if I'm doing a big shop, or like at the weekends, I do my laundry at the laundrette, and I pack up my suitcase. You know, I've got one of them 24-kilogram, the big ones, and I put all my dirty thingy in there, fold it up, take it to the laundrette, undo it, wash it and fold it up and put it back in and wheel it back home. Of course. Oh, my God. Why is that so...
It's basically a different version of the granny shopper, really. Colleen's horrified, but anyway. Yeah, it's not a hit with you, really. It's done, isn't it?
I don't even want to talk in this part.
OK. Well, we go to the competition. Let's go to the competition. Jeff is live with all the details. Hello, Jeff.
Hi, Christine. Look, a moment ago, we were on the roof of the South Stand at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. More than just a stadium, by the way, because if you go below the stand and below the pitch, you get this. This is the Formula One Drive London. It's an incredible go-kart track. It's all electric, so you don't get that noise associated with go-karting. And look at the neon lights. It's such an incredible place. So listen, I want to tell you about our ultimate summer bonus competition. That is £10,000 a month, every month for 6 whole months. I brought my family here. Freddie's going to try and beat his dad. Don't know about that. I'm not having it. It's still a little bit competitive. But if you're competitive, I've got a competition for you. £10,000 every month for 6 whole months. £60,000 could be in your bank account, courtesy of ITV. But you've got to enter, guys. So here are the details. Good luck.
For your chance to win, text WIN to 86060. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 786060. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY17 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday 17th of May at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Right, guys, I'm off to have a little race with Fred and my friends. If you want to have a summer of fun, all you need to do is get entering. It's a great competition and one guaranteed winner. So good luck. Are you ready, everyone? Let's go!
Under the picture. How random. And they're off, sort of. They'll get there eventually, don't you worry. Thank you very much, Jeff. Now, it was tense in the Dales this week as Emma Dales of Finney had a very personal secret exposed.
Fine, but you can't say anything. Vinny is a virgin.
Wow.
Hey, Vin, did you sleep okay?
We didn't wake you, did we? No. Ooh. Oh! Yeah, we found a way to pass the time.
I guess I really missed him. Sorry, that's cringy.
Don't worry. One day, my friend, you will understand the flames of passion. One day? Oh, that was meant to be a secret. I made Belle tell me. And I'm glad she did, bud. There's no shame in it. I mean, we could always stage an intervention for you if you like.
Tom, don't joke.
Who's joking?
Yeah, well, actually, I'd just rather not discuss it.
Poor Finney. Feeling very embarrassed, clearly. Tom is teasing. Tom's horrible, isn't he? Oh, it's awful.
Not a nice person.
Rebel Wilson, of course, she recently revealed she didn't lose her virginity until she was 35. Do you think there still is a stigma to being sexually inexperienced, Olivia? Do you think it is?
Why'd you come to me?
His mother-in-law's in the front row.
Yeah, I know, thanks. I'm like, how do I navigate this one? I think it's a stigma in life if you're, you know, really sexually active or you're not sexually active. We like to stigmatise people, unfortunately. I think I don't, obviously, not experience it in adult life, but at school there's definitely that thing. Everyone's talking about who's lost their virginity, who hasn't. I remember I felt pressure at school to lose mine, like, with some minger, just so I could say I'd done it, like, which is really awful. I wouldn't advocate that. If you're watching, hi. If I wouldn't advocate that to any young people, but there is that pressure, you know, when you're young. But I'd hope in adult life that would not be the case. But I've not experienced that. My husband, I think. I don't know. What did I say here?
No,
I just said he wasn't a virgin.
No, you've done it well, and I do agree with you. I think it's very much that sort of teenage kind of rite of passage school conversation. 100%, I'd say most of us have heard or been part of that chat within the school element. But then I guess as you get older, you don't. Do people have those conversations? No. And maybe we don't because people are too embarrassed to. Is that what it is?
I definitely think. I think women have conversations about it more. I think they're more open. You know, if you've got a girls' night at home and you start talking, and if one of your friends said, "Actually, I haven't lost my virginity yet," you'd kind of discuss it and all that. I think men find it difficult to have that because I think men tend to, you know, kind of wind each other up and take the mick a bit more like that, really. I think men feel they should, and they should have done it, and I think that's really sad because I don't think there should be a difference between. It's my shopping trolley. I don't think that it should be a difficult conversation, and I don't think anyone should be judged on when is the wrong or the right time for them. It's different for everyone.
Yeah.
You know.
There can be obviously lots of different reasons why, you know, it hasn't happened for you. It could be a religious reason or just a personal reason. You haven't found the right I mean, there's lots of different things as to why.
It was interesting what Olivia was saying when, you know, when she was at school, everybody was like, who's lost their virginity? And when I was at school, it was like, who got off? So it seems to have, like, developed into that more than, you know, I was always wondering, what does got off? I got off with that, but what does that actually mean? And, you know, because I was very late to that table, I found myself thinking that it was more peer pressure of listening to people saying, well, I got off with this one and I got off. But a lot of them didn't actually. They were just trying to, it was just kind of like bragging rights with their friends, which I think is quite sad when you feel that you have to make up a lie in order to feel that you're fitting in with whatever. I'm quite happy if, you know, I was like I said, I was late to the table of losing my virginity, but I don't think that it should be discussed in that form of a playground.
And certainly not made fun of as it is in
No.
Emmerdale there.
I wasn't late to the table.
Were you not?
Oh, God,
But that's
Colleen.
going back to being the youngest of the family again, when your parents didn't care anymore. You know. What about you? Were you late? Were you early to the table? What kind of table was it?
Oh, my God.
I've got 30 seconds.
Yeah. Is that all it takes?
Yeah.
But a lot of the times
do
you
you
watch
mean
some
it's
of these
longer than 30
romantic...
seconds?
You watch these romantic films and they really quite scare me because you see the woman doing a run and jump and then she's, like, straddled and I'm like, ow, you'll drop me. I won't even get up there, let alone to keep me up there.
I also think, going back to what you said as well there, Olivia, I think a lot of people, I'm sure, wish that they hadn't done it when they, you know, wait until it's right for you for whatever the reason. So there you go. No more time left, everybody. Can you believe it? Thanks so much for your company. Dermot O'Leary will be here tomorrow in the flesh. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, but what was...